Hello and welcome to the Whisky.com news on the 29th of August 2022. And we have a number of very interesting news. And we start off with Scotland. There's a new distillery planned in the Lowlands. And it's the Grahamslaw Estate Distillery Company, and they want to rebuild an old distillery in the Lowlands. It's in Caol, the Lowlands. It's southeast of Edinburgh, and we unfortunately don't have any news about what distillery will be rebuilt or refurbished. It's an old distillery that has not been demolished but mothballed. If you have any further news for that, because we couldn't find something on the spot, then please write it down in the comments below. Be careful if you post any links, they will not be shown by YouTube at first. We have to release them individually. Then we have news from Glenlivet. Glenlivet is fighting against water shortages, and we've already talked about water shortages I think 2 weeks ago, and now they are working together with Aberdeen, the University of Aberdeen, and they are researching ways of reducing water and ways of securing the water supply within their regions around the Cairngorm Mountains. Then we have news from Ardbeg. They're bringing out a graphic novel. The novel is called Planet Ardbeg, and it's a 40-page graphical novel with 3 parts about 3 Ardbeg bottlings. The first one is from Sanford Greeny, and it's called Guardians of Oa. It's an epos about Copper City, and it's done for the Ardbeg an Oa. Second one is from Ronald Wimberley's, and it's The Best Laid Schemes. It's a neo-western with a lot of beasts, and of course, and then we have the Ardbeg Wee Beastie for that. The third one is Emma Rios, and it's called Take It With a Grain of Sand, and it's a mystical adventure, a search for treasure in lost lands, and it's the Ardbeg 10. Where can you get them? You can get them online or at the Ardbeg Visitor Center, and committee members get the digital version for free. Then we have Barley Nectar. That's a new opened distillery, and that has been financed by NFT. It's the founder, Alistair MacDonald. It's grandson or something like that from the founder of the Ben Nevis distillery, and he wants to make a connection between modern technology and traditional whiskey production. You can actually become a member for $8,000. There will only be 400 of that, and you get a 12 months you get whiskey for that. Whiskey NFTs, you can get bottles for the NFTs, sell the NFTs, or keep the NFTs. And you also get an own whiskey cask with storage permission for 10 years. So you can kind of be part of the whole journey of the distillery. Then we have a new Macallan announced, the Macallan Horizon. It's a joint venture again between Macallan and Bentley Motors. It's has a really big design. What is really strange is that the bottle is lying down and the cork seems to be full of whiskey, which is not quite good. But the packaging is awesome. It's recycled copper from the spirit stills of Macallan. Then we have aluminium from Bentley, recycled wood, CO2 neutral leather, recycled glass, and it will come out 2023 and probably will be pretty expensive. Then we have news from Caol. The Caol 14 Years, 4 Corners of Scotland is coming out, and it's kind of a celebratory edition because they are celebrating the last renovation of the last Diageo plant, and that's the visitor center of Caol. They have bottling that is first and second fill American oak barrels, 3,000 bottles, 53% ABV, 150 pounds suggested retail price. That's Great British pounds, of course. Then we have more the Balvenie stories, a rare discovery from distant shores, new sweet toast, wheat of peat, second rose. And yeah, it's again with a lot of personal stories from the distillery, 27 years of age, 48% IBP, and will come out midst of September. Then we have an honoring, and that is an honoring within the United States, in particularly the Commonwealth of Kentucky, where it was Andrea Wilson, Master of Maturation at Michter's Distillation or Michter's Distillery. She is now getting into the Hall of Fame of the Kentucky Distillers Association, and that's kind of the highest honor you can get within the Kentucky distillers, although one higher honor would probably be that she could become a Colonel of Kentucky, which is a non-military honor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky for someone who is really putting their back into what Kentucky is of the well-being of the state of Kentucky. Then we have some international news, and that is from Wales. Penderyn is announcing their opening of their third distillery. They are planning and building since 2018, and they want to finish in 2023, so next year. And it's their third distillery, and it's the one with a strange name. Landudno, I don't know. It's in Swansea, Wales. That's on the south coast of Wales. Wales is just that little thing that is attached to England, and they want to satisfy the higher demand and also make some experimental bottlings. Yeah, that was it for this week, but I have still one news, and that's a little short interview with Scott Adams. You might know him from the live tasting with Tomatin, and he's bringing us some news about the Tomatin distillery. So now we're having a little interview with Scott Adamson, global brand ambassador and now blender at Tomatin. Thank you for having an interview with me.
No, thanks for having me. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, the news is Tomatin is having its 125th anniversary. So happy birthday, and what's coming up with this anniversary? What you doing?
Yeah, so the anniversary was the 8th of June there, so 125 years, part of the 1897 gang of distilleries. And so in the typical way, we like to celebrate that with some excellent whiskey. So we've got 3 releases coming out to celebrate the anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is our classic 12-year-old, but it's in a limited edition gift carton that was designed by a paper cut artist called Emily Hogarth. And Emily came to the distillery and spoke to the people that work and live here and tried to bring the story of the last 125 years to life on pack, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And the original artwork is now down in the visitor centre as well. But in addition to that, we wanted to release some new whiskies as well. So we released a single cask and from 1993. The single cask is incredible. It's very rare that we now bottle single casks by ourselves. We have our private cask program where people can come and bottle their own Tomatin private cask. But for us to generally release a cask is quite rare now. And what we wanted to do was celebrate the style of whiskey that would have been made in 1897. So this is a second fill Oloroso sherry cask, and there's great records from around that time of those kind of golden sherry casks, once they've been filled once before, have these incredible influences on the whiskey. And that's the style of cask and maturation that our founder, John McDougall, would have understood and appreciated. So we wanted to bring that to life. And of course, we've got a limited edition 50-year-old bottling coming out as well. Now, this was bottled on the anniversary itself, 125 bottles, one for every year that the distillery has been operating. So we've got something at all levels of the range for people to enjoy, and 3 remarkable whiskies to celebrate a remarkable story.
Okay, and they are distributed all around the world, or is it?
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, the 12-year-old is distributed around the world, and this year the 12-year-old will be in that anniversary pack. with the single cask and the 50-year-old, they are incredibly limited. So they will be distributed globally, but in very, very small numbers.
Okay, so yeah. So very nice thing coming up. And is there anything going on at the distillery for the 125th anniversary?
We've not done anything because we've got so much work getting done this year. We had
Oh,
talks about having an open day or having a little party. The staff actually went for a nice day out to celebrate, which was great. That was a lot of fun. But right now, I'm sitting in our boardroom and I'm seeing that there's new construction going outside one window. The distillery's getting a lot of work done to it as well. So there's so much being done on site that we've just not had the ability to fully celebrate. But I'm sure once everything's complete, we'll have a little bit of a party there as well.
okay. So yeah, thank you very much for the interview.
No problem.
And thank you very much for watching. And if you'd like the news, then tune in next week for more of these special news coming. See you then.